So let's see how you did. My first question was to write a little bit of block code that would show all of the numbers from 0 to 8 on your screen. Well, here's the block of code to do it. You can see that it looks very much like my example code from the start of this session, except there we were running from 0 to 3, and the question was to run from 0 to 8. We already know the show number statement, so if I just play this again, you will see all it does is it loops through. Every time through the loop it shows the number, and we run from 0 to 8. Next, I asked you to achieve something very similar, but not to display the number 5. And the trick here was to realize that you needed an if-then statement to say, okay, if something happens or doesn't happen, then do or don't do something. And so here, the if then is, I want to display everything from 0 to 8, but if it's not equal to 5, then let's not show the number. So a slight extension to the first example, but not showing the number 5 using an if-then logic statement. So let's see what this looks like. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Not show the number 5, 6, 7, 8. And again, you can think of we're going through the loop 0, 1, all the way up to 8. We're going to do something. We're going to show the number on the screen. But we've inserted some logic to say have some special behavior. When the number, the index is 5, don't show that. So my next question was, okay, show all the numbers from 0 to 8, but if a number is greater than 5, show twice that number. So again, building up. Here's an expanded statement that shows you how to achieve that. As with the previous two examples, we're looping from 0 to 8, and we're going to do something special when certain logic is achieved. But here the logic is, okay, if the index is less than or equal to 5, we're going to do one thing, which is display it to screen. But if the index is not less than or equal to 5, in other words, if the index is greater than 5, we'll do something else. And what we're going to do is we're going to show twice the number. You needed here my little piece of advice to look at things in the math drawer and this particular statement. As with all these things, you can build on simple examples to make things more complicated, but the real trick is to just keep trying it. You write your code, you say, okay, can I do this first bit, just showing the numbers less than 5. When you hit play on start, that's what happens. But then I want something else as I go through my loop 6, 7, 8. I don't want to show the index, I want to show 2 times the number, 2 times the index. And so that was the else in this statement. And if you put it all together, you'll notice that when we hit 6, we show 2 times 6. When we hit 7, 2 times 7. When we hit 8, 2 times 8. My next question, making things even more complicated, was staying with the idea of showing the numbers 0 to 8. I wanted you to take a break for the numbers 1, 2, and 3, and instead show the letters A, B, and C, and then go back to showing the numbers 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Well, what does this look like? Again, we've expanded our previous example. We're still looping across our index from 0 to 8. Nothing's changed there. What has changed is the if-then statements. What we want to do is we want to show the index 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But as in my example, if the index is 1, we want special behavior. We want to show A instead. And because A is a letter, it's not a number, we have to use this show string command instead of the show number command. And then when it's 2, we want to show B. When it's 3, we want to show C. Just like with the example from the start of the session, in all other situations, we're just going to show the number, which is index. So let's verify that this is working. 0, A, B, C, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the same concept, looping through 8 numbers, 8 indexes, but having some special behavior when the index is a certain number. And finally, My stretch goal for this session was to show all of the letters in the phrase hello world together with the corresponding index. So 0 with H, and then 1 with E, and then 2 with L, 3 with L, 4 with O, 5 with space, and so on. So let's show you the code to achieve this. This, as I mentioned, uses my special little block here, this character from something at something. Now, where we started earlier in this session, we used A, B, C, D, E, and the default was to show character 0, which would be A. So before we do anything else, let's just look at the result of this. You can see we're looping through the index from 0 to 10, and we're always showing the character from A, B, C, D, E at entry position 0. So we're always showing the A, which is why this goes 1A, 0A, 1A, 2A, 3A, up to 10A. If we were to change this from 0 to 2, then the character of interest, A is 0, B is 1, C is 2, would be the C. So once this starts playing, you see that, as with the other examples, we're looping through the index, but as well as the number corresponding to the index, we're also showing C every single time. 10, C. So the trick here, the real trick, was to realize that instead of looping through this phrase, A, B, C, D, E, which we wanted to do hello world, what we're going to do is, instead of showing a specific character at a specific location, like 0 or 2 or 9, we're going to have to show each character as we loop through the indexes from 0 to 10. So instead of a number there, you need index. And now when you read this, what it says is, okay, loop through indexes, so 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. Show the index. Also show the character from hello world at that index. So when this is 0, show the number index and show the character at 0, which is H. When this is 1, show the number 1 and show the character from here that's at 1, entry point 1, which is E. 2 would be L, 3 would be L, exactly what we want to achieve. So let's watch this one more time. 0 is H, 1 is E, 2 is L, 3 is L, 4 is O. So we've achieved the goal. I didn't necessarily expect you to manage this stretch goal. It looks very simple now you see it on screen, but it has this extra trick. The reason it looks so short is because you're embedding two concepts in this text phrase, in this character from hello world at index. You're not only moving through hello world, but you're also consciously using the index from this loop. So there's a more complicated synthesis going on. There's two things in this phrase, which is why it looks so compact. We've achieved a lot all at once. But the reason I wanted to use this as a stretch goal is because this is the construction we're going to need for the Caesar cipher. We're going to have to be able to loop through the indexes in a phrase and consider each character that corresponds to those indexes. So through the rest of the week, you're going to be seeing these sorts of constructions a lot. You're going to be seeing a for loop. You'll also see the if-then logic from some of the previous examples. And then you're going to be using this trick a lot of displaying a character at a specific index. And in this way, we can build up to actually encoding and decoding phrases using the Caesar cipher. And we'll continue building up to that in the next session.